Trust is the currency of every relationship. That's at work, at home, in leadership, and in life. And without it, everything is going to fall apart. But when you do have it, when you have trust, almost anything is possible. So let me ask you, when people think of you, do they trust what you say? Do they trust what you consistently do? Because here's the truth, you don't just stumble into trust. Trust is something that you build on purpose. And there's times that you may have to earn trust, earn it again, rebuild trust because you've broken it. I've done that. I know what that's like. But here's the good news. There are non-negotiables that you can live out that will make trust inevitable in your life, that you can build it. So today I want to give you 5 of them. 5 non-negotiables that will help you build trust in every area of your life. So welcome to this episode of Real Life in Leadership. And I'm so excited about this topic in general or in particular, because with the work that I do and the companies that I go into and the people that I meet and see, one of the things that I hear over and over again is there's not enough trust. We don't trust each other. In some cases, it's because people have broken the trust. And in other cases, it's because they just have never taken the time to really build it. So today, I'm not going to put too much emphasis on how to rebuild trust. I may make that another episode off of this one. But what I want to do is I want to talk about building trust. I want to say, if you could come in starting from scratch, all from the beginning, and say, I want to build trust. I want to come into this room, into this place, and I want to build trust. I want to do it in the right way. I want to do it with you. I want to do it with some others. So how do you do that? And where do you start? Well, these 5 non-negotiables will help you. Now, I want to say something to you. Now, if you're the person that says, well, whenever I meet new people, they got to earn my trust. Whenever I start a new job, they got to earn my trust. See, I have a problem with that because that means you're putting yourself up here, right? You're putting yourself above the others and they're down here because they got to earn it. Why do they have to earn something they never broke? What do they have to do to earn your trust? What if they built trust? What if you come in on the same playing field? Why do you have to start above them? Because that's just, I don't care if you're the leader or not. That's not how you do it. True relationship never puts someone at a disadvantage. Remember that. So these 5 non-negotiables, what's cool about this, what I'm talking about, and you want to build trust when you're meeting people and starting from fresh and from scratch and in a new situation, a new area, a new thing, is you build trust. And so in order to build trust, you need this first non-negotiable, and that is humility. And here's why, because trust grows when I don't have to be the hero of every story. I don't have to put myself on the top. I don't have to be the best. I don't have to be the one. See, pride pushes people away, but you know what humility does? Humility brings people closer. Humility says, come on in. I'm right here. Join me. Let's do this together. Think about it. People trust leaders who can admit mistakes far more than leaders who pretend to be perfect, pretend to always get it right. Because if a leader never owns their failures, you know what people are going to do? People are going to hide their own. They're going to hide mistakes. But when a leader admits their faults, it opens the door for a whole lot of honesty from everyone. So here's what humility means. Humility means this to me. I'm not above you, but I'm with you. Okay? So think about it. There's no need in pretending to be flawless. Let humility have its way. Build with humility. That's your first non-negotiable, because the next step is learning how to stop hiding. And so that leads us to our second non-negotiable, which is transparency. So transparency, think of it like this. What I hide, okay, as it relates to trust, whatever I hide, it makes people doubt me. What I share, though, will help people to trust me. Because secrecy is going to create suspicion, but openness is going to create connection. Think of it that way. Secrecy, suspicion, openness, connection. Because people, you know what they can do? They can handle hard truths. What they can't handle is when you are hiding truth. So when you say, and I'll just make it simple, when you say everything is fine when it's not, you're putting cracks You're putting little dents and holes inside the trust that you're trying to build. So when you owning the challenge and inviting people in, guess what that's going to do? It's going to build the trust that you're looking for. Transparency means I would rather you trust my honesty, telling you the truth, than for you to doubt me in my silence. Okay, I'm going to say that again. I'd rather you trust my honesty than doubt my silence. Think about that. Humility, and then you have transparency, but it's not just what you say. It's also how well you see other people. And that's our third. It's empathy. Third non-negotiable is empathy. Trust deepens, and it gets deeper, and it becomes more, I feel, rich when I see life through your eyes and not just my own. I mean, it's so easy just to go, this is my interpretation. This is my, as people say today, my lived experience, all the things that you want to say, right? So, but trust is going to deepen when I see it through your eyes. Trust isn't built on being understood. It's built on making others feel understood. So my goal whenever I meet with someone is to say, I listen. And one of my favorite things to hear when I'm doing one-to-ones with some clients or even with a group team, and I sit and I listen to 20 folks on a team together, and they're sharing all the things that are going on. Maybe their department is underperforming. The leadership is kind of, and I'm sitting there listening, but I go through and I listen to every single one of them. I do my best to take notes. I even use my AI tools that I have. It's a note capture, and I put it in and it summarizes everything so I can give it back to them. And by and large, my favorite thing to hear over and over again is when one of them or a bunch of them say, thank you so much, because I feel like not only was I heard, but I'm being understood. And that alone becomes a catalyst for change. People then begin to re-engage. They feel like they can reinvest because they feel like that's like new fuel. It's added fuel for the effort that they want to do or the next steps in order to do the new thing. So listening isn't waiting for your turn, though. Listening means that you really are sitting there, you clear your mind, you have no agenda, and you want to listen to understand and not so you can just respond. That's a big one. When you brush off someone's concerns, okay, this empathy thing, when you brush off their concerns, you're going to totally build walls. I promise you that. But when you say, help me see how you see it, you break those walls down. I see so many times that, and especially with in businesses, and I see individuals, I see it in relationships where people will literally, it's instead of asking how you see it, explain it to me so I can understand it. They want to paint the picture for you to see it their way. And because obviously their way is better, right? It's better. So if your way is better, that means we've already messed up on number one. We're not going to build trust because we're not doing this in a humble fashion. We want to be humble. We want to be transparent. Like, this is important. We want empathy, because empathy means this: I may not live your story, but I care enough to step into it. That's it. So think of empathy that way. I'm not living your story, but I care enough to step into it. And this is important. It doesn't matter how much empathy you show, just one time, if people can't count on you every time to show it. So it's not how much empathy, right? It's not how much you show in that moment, that one time event, but it's that people can count on you every time, which brings us to this next non-negotiable. It's about being consistent. This every time thing, showing empathy, not just one time, but every time. And here's what I mean by that. Consistency, it's about, when you want trust, you have to understand that trust is going to be built in patterns. Ready? I'm about to say something that may be, I don't know, maybe difficult, or somebody may disagree, and that's fine. Trust is built in patterns. It's not only promises. Promises are the words. Patterns are the actions or the repeated actions that go with it. So trust is earned, or isn't earned, sorry, in just one single moment. It's the weight right? Trust is the weight of what you do over and over and over again. Because if a leader says, here's an example, if a leader says, hey, my door is always open, you can come on in, but never makes time, never has the time, is always busy, he's always tied up doing something, well, that trust is going to erode and eventually collapse because the foundation is going to be wiped out. But if every week that leader is checking in, and if that leader is following up and follows through, then that trust begins to grow. Consistency means that people know what to expect from you, and you deliver over and over and over and over again. And so that leads to the final. This is the final non-negotiable, the one that I believe cements everything together, makes it all hold. And that's putting others first. Because trust sticks when people know that I'm for them and I'm not just in it for myself. Self-interests just create distance, but a genuine care, when you have a genuine care for other people, it creates loyalty. It creates a devotion. People don't trust a taker. And there's so many takers out there. What can you do for me? But they will trust a giver. So if only, I gotta put it, if you're only going to show up when it benefits you, if that's the only time, if only things go in your favor, if they only line up for the way that you need them, and then it benefits you, that's when you show up, then I can promise you this. If you're building something new, that trust is going to evaporate. I mean, literally poof, like just go, just gone. But if you celebrate other people, their wins, if you encourage them, if you're looking out for them, trying to help them, if you're trying to add value to them quietly when no one's looking, no one sees that you're doing it, trust will be cemented in place. Others first means that I'm not here to get something from you, but I'm here to add something to you. So let's recap. The 5 non-negotiables are: one is, in order to build trust, is 1, humility. The second is transparency. The third is empathy. The fourth one is consistency. And the fifth is putting other people first. I cannot stress that enough. Trust isn't one big decision. It's 1,000 small choices that you and I make every day and live them out every single day. Because people don't remember what you've promised them. They'll remember it, but they really remember what you actually did and what you practiced. So here's a challenge that I want to give to you. I want you to pick one of these. You can pick all 5. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but pick one of the 5 and focus on them this week. Focus on them tonight, tomorrow, any new opportunity that you have, and build the pattern, not just the promise. Okay. Over time, this is how your trust is going to grow. Invite the other person in that you may be doing something new with, building a new relationship. Invite them in. Say, I'd like for you to join me in this effort. I want you to join me in this thing. Let's build trust together. And I promise you, if you do this and you invite them in and say, these are the things that we're working with. We're working with humility. We're working with transparency. We're working with empathy. We're working with consistency. And then ultimately, we're going to put one another first, or we're going to put others first in this situation. I promise you, trust will grow. And that's going to make you and everyone else involved in this equation people that you can truly count on. People that are not just accountable, but they're accountable. So think about that. This is your time. You can do this. Build trust with these 5 non-negotiables. And I promise you that you will see life in a much better light as you do relationship with others, whether it's at work, home, you name it. Because these are real efforts for your life and your leadership. So until next time, we'll talk soon.